Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over one of the best ways to go about getting god rolled items in Outriders. Now before we get into the video, only 6% of people that watch my videos are subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with all of my videos. And I don't think this strategy of looking for well-rolled or god-rolled items is used by a lot of people. So if you're not using it, this can add a massive boost to the possibility of you finding these items. Now, the general strategy of what I'm talking about here is to look at vendors and even go back and look at the vendors that are earlier in the game that are mostly going to have green and blue rarity items. Now, I'm going to be focusing on 6 main vendors for this farm. You have Bailey and Tiago in your camp. Then you have the weapon and armor vendors both in Rift Town and in Trench Town. And the main amount of items from all of these vendors are going to refresh every hour. Now in the footage, I'm mainly focusing on armor pieces. You can do these same exact things with weapons. I just think weapons are a bit easier to get for the majority of the builds, and armor pieces have a lot more variations and are going to be a bit harder to get those god rolled pieces. So essentially, you're just going to go around to every one of these vendors, look at all their items, and see if you can find any god rolled pieces. Now, something to also note is that all of these vendors besides Tiago can also have green rarity items, so they can have green, blue, and purple. Now, something that's actually pretty nice about finding greens with the stats you want is that you can upgrade greens 2 times, and they're not that expensive. I think at level 50, it's like 50 titanium to upgrade the rarity. So first you would upgrade a green to blue, which would then let you choose one class specific mod, which is really nice because you have 3 choices. So this gives you a decent chance to find a mod that can be used in your build or find a mod that's good for your build. And then when you upgrade it again up to epic, that lets you choose one generic mod. So getting a green item actually gives you a good amount of control to turn a green item with the stats you want into a well-rolled or god-rolled item with the stats and the mods you want. And then you have blue items that you can still do that and choose just the generic mod. And then you have epic items that are kind of at the whim of just whatever they have rolled on them. And I have actually gotten a god rolled armor piece for my pyromancer from doing this farm, and they did actually start out as green gloves from one of these vendors. So I got Gravedigger's gloves, which have anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and skills life leech, which are my best 3 stats for the build I'm working on, and they started out as green, so I upgraded them once up to blue, which then I was able to get the specific thermal bomb mod that I need for my build. And then when I upgraded them to epic, I could just choose whichever generic mod I wanted, and then I can roll that generic mod to Captain Hunter and have an essentially god rolled armor piece that I would have never found if I didn't go farm these vendors and look at all of the items they have. Now, past just looking for items to wear and use in your build, you can also do something else with these vendors that can massively increase the power of your builds, and that is look for items that you can deconstruct that give you the specific stat you want or that you're needing to keep upgrading your items. So specifically for me, all the 3 builds that I've recently done for my characters all have cooldown reduction as one of their main stats, and cooldown reduction seems to be one of the hardest stats to get, and all of my items having cooldown reduction, usually like half of them, I'm still working on upgrading cooldown reduction through the upgrade system. So what you can do is when you're going around and looking at all these vendors, you can look for items with the specific stats you need with the shard symbol next to them so you can buy those and deconstruct them. And if you don't know how this works, when you look at an item that you haven't upgraded, it will have a shard symbol next to one of those stats. If you dismantle that item, that is the stats or the attributes you're going to get from dismantling that item. And the only thing that determines how many attribute shards you're going to get is what level the item is. So you can go to a vendor, get a level 50 green item with a cooldown reduction shard on it, then you can deconstruct that and it's still going to give you 50 cooldown reduction attribute shards. And this is a very good way to specifically target stats you need for your build to be able to deconstruct them. Because I go through all of these vendors sometimes and get 200 to 300 of a specific stat I'm looking at, which can be around 2 upgrades on a single item. So just a quick TLDR, you're going to go look at all of the vendors in your camp, in Rift Town, and in Trench Town to see if you can find any God rolled items. These vendors can also have green rarity items, which are very good for trying to find those God rolled items with all the attributes and mods you need. Then as a secondary farm, you can also look through all these items and buy the ones with the stat shards you need to dismantle them to upgrade your gear even further. So subscribe if you want to see more Outriders or other videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this farm, and thanks for watching.
I beg your tolerance.